Hello everybody, welcome back to another Bleach 5e video. Took a nice little break for the beginning of the year and now we're gonna get back into the swing of things with some new updates. So let's look at this month's update. Not a lot to go over, so it'll be quite a small video, though the changes are big. There are a lot of changes to the book, so do not be fooled by the short video. So let's go over the changelog. So first up is a variant rule added, which is countered. This was already added to the book, but I didn't really explain what it meant. So now there's some actual little description of what this term means. Next up is adjusted various wordings for all armament abilities, and it goes in tandem with the next one. Various minor buffs, nerfs, and changes to all armament abilities. Some had some extra text in them that weren't supposed to be in some armament abilities. Other ones got some wordings cleaned up a little bit, so it makes a little bit more sense. There's still a bit of other stuff I want to clean up, but I haven't found a good way to do it at the moment. So expect more of these kind of minor changes. I can't really go through each one since there's a lot of just small stuff. So trying to go through the entirety of all the changes then it would be a very long video. So I'm not going to go over that. Next up is added radius scaling for Templar Soul Aura class feature. I figured I wanted to give this class ability a little buff since the kind of radius that it has is a little too small. So we'll go over that. Next up, added started equipment for all the classes. Finally, all the classes have starting equipment. Now this is a little awkward in what really to give. So feel free for anyone to chime down below in the comments if you think there's some other equipment I can give all the classes, or the choices that I made are probably not good enough or should be different. Feel free to let me know, because this campaign is kind of a mix between modern and not really modern, but kind of futuristic, because Soul Society has high tech, but there's still kind of Edo aesthetic and terms of look, and still kind of tech until towards the end of the canonical arc. So it's a little awkward on how and what to give classes for their starting equipment, since it's not like a traditional high fantasy Arthurian medievalness to give out just shields and longswords and stuff like that. So let me know what you guys think once we go over those. Next up is a new feat, focused armament, and change special movement and its rules, which kind of a request that I've gotten, so finally got that added to it. So let's go through these one at a time. But before we move on, of course, I have to mention the YouTube channel. Currently, we're at 123 subscribers. Big deal to me. Would love to hit 150. That'd be another big milestone to hit. For all those that are currently subscribed, thank you so much. And for those who are watching who aren't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Please subscribe, be part of the journey here with this book, part of the community. Like the videos, comment below what you guys think of anything regarding the video or the book. I'd love to hear everything you guys have to say. And yeah, we would really much appreciate for a like and subscribe. Help out me please the algorithm gods to get more out there and grow this community. And if you want to support me even further, I of course do have a Patreon with a lot of different options. As you can see, Captain being the most popular, which gives you the most perks. Biggest thing I have on here is stat blocks for mainly DMs. I'm not sure what more I can throw out for players really, since I myself am a DM as per the name. So I have some more stuff coming to it, mainly stat blocks. But if there's other things you guys want to see more tailored to players, I would like to hear some feedback and some suggestions regarding that. But of course, if you are not able to, just liking and subscribing to the YouTube channel is perfectly fine. With all that said, thank you guys so much. Let's get back to the video. Alrighty, so first up is countered. Countered is, this term is used when a spell or ability fails and has no effect, or its duration is forcefully ended by other effects, and spoke, such as counterspell and or dispel magic. So there's a lot of things, like if something will say so stop this and it gets countered, or something gets countered. Things will matter if things get countered, or it triggers some other abilities. So that's what basically countered means. When something is ability or something fails, or its duration is ended by some other stuff, which is usually counterspell to spell magic, but there are other abilities that, you know, get counter other stuff. So I just wanted to make sure there's a term for it, just to shorten up and clean up wording for other abilities that are currently in the book and that might show up in the future. But that's what that means. Let me know what you guys think about it. If you think it's too confusing, or maybe there's other stuff I am not thinking of that should be added to encompass, let me know below in the comment section. Next up is the Soul Aura class ability for the Templar. As you can see, everything is pretty much the same. The only thing I added is right down here, which is scaling. So at 6th level, you choose... Yes. At 6th level, you choose another buff. The Soul Aura radius increases by 5 feet. And again at 10th, 14th, and 18th level. So that means at 6th level, it's 10 feet, and then 15, 20, and then 25, if I am doing my calculations correct. Nope, it's 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 at 18th level. Sorry, messed that up. So by 18th level, it should be a 30-foot radius. I just wanted to make sure to help out, since, you know, once you just have that only 10-foot radius sphere, it can be very limiting to really help out your friends. And I really want to encourage, you know, you to be very close to your allies and being really nearby, which is something I don't think I mentioned the first time I went over the class. You know, I really want you to be nearby to do a lot of, you know, help action and a lot of stuff like that, to really be nearby to, you know, provide support and whatever else to your allies, to be a really heavy support character. But I know that can be a little awkward sometimes. It can be a little difficult, especially with other party members that might be very fast, like, you know, ho-ho specialists. This is like teleporting and running around often, that they'll just probably never be in your soul aura. So I'm hoping now with the scaling, it kind of helps out and open up a little bit more gameplay in regards to positioning and that kind of stuff, and makes it a little bit easier. So let me know what you guys think about it, if anybody is playing Templar, and what your experience has been like. I'd love to hear about it, and if you appreciate this buff at all. But that's it for Soul Aura for the Templar. Next up is the starting equipment. So for Shinigami, first thing we have here is the equipment. You get the standard Shihakusho uniform, which is kind of what you get for being a Shinigami, and then you can choose either 2 Anken or a razor wire. Like I said previously, really awkward and difficult to decide what to give all the classes in this setting, since it's a weird mix of a lot of different kind of eras and genres, sort of, since, you know, it's taking place in the modern day human world, but, you know, Soul Society is very like old school Edo period Japan, but with crazy sci-fi high tech within the Division 12. So it's a little awkward. So I would love to hear some suggestions, if there's anything else I should add to it, anything else you guys think I could give characters. But that's what we have for the Shinigami. Next up is the Quincy. So first one here is a set of Quincy robes. I did a quick googling and looking around, and I don't think Kubo ever named what the Quincy garbs is called. I think they're just Quincy robes. I don't think they've ever gotten a name, or at least I couldn't find where it was named. So if anyone has like the official name for the uniform, put it down in the comments below so I can update the book with that name. Because yeah, the Shinigami have the Shihakusho, and the Arankar have the Zaori. I think I'm pronouncing it right. So they have their uniform named, but not the Quincy, which is kind of weird. So maybe I missed it somewhere, but, you know, if I did, please put it in the comments down below. And then, of course, second option is 2 Ginto or 1 Seal Schneider. Since, you know, Ginto, it doesn't really say how much you just get, so you have 2 Ginto capsules. Now, it just says 2 Ginto, whether that means already with spells in them or just blank, and then the Quincy has to put in the effort into them. I'm going to leave that up to the DM. I'm purposefully leaving that vague to, you know, for the DMs to make that decision. If you wanted to already have spells in effect for them, whether like you choose spells or the Quincy chooses, you know, 2 free spells that they're able to do to put them into it, or it's just empty and they have to spend the time in SP to put whatever spell into it. I'll leave that up to the DM. It's purposefully vague for that reason. And of course, the Seal Schneider, if anyone wants to, do less spellcasting and more with, either the melee or use that as an arrow. So that's what we have for the Quincy. All right, and the next up is Arrancar. Now, this one is probably the most difficult. So a set of Arrancar Zodi, I think I'm pronouncing that right, and one simple weapon. I don't, there's not a lot of info regarding the Arrancar, what really they do when they're in Hueco Mundo, especially in Las Noches. Like, do they just lounge around? Like, they don't really have a kind of structure like the Soul Society where they're like, doing things. They have a society, really. In my own world, there is kind of like a pseudo society that's started to form in Hueco Mundo. But it's, yeah. So, but in general and canonical, there's not really anything. They're just roaming, hollow, running around, trying to eat each other, avoid each other, and stay alive. As that's at least what's implied. So, yeah, it's really weird. At some point, someone had to build Las Noches. So if that's like a ruin from ages past of the past kingdom or whatever civilization used to be there, or there's like hollow architects, and hollow, builders, hollow, artisans. Like, we don't really see any of that. And I still have not read the light novels, so maybe it's explained more and there's talks about more of that. But currently, right now, there's none of that. So really hard to choose something to give to the Arrancar. So at the moment, it's just one simple weapon and the clothes that they get, just for now. And also that, is there a hollow seamstress? Like, who's making the clothes? Who's doing that? Did Hollows not really have that until Eisen show up? And then he's just like, hey, we're wearing uniforms now. Were they like kind of just naked or just wearing random garbs and shit? Like, so those are questions I have and not really answered. And I would love filler. I'm a filler guy because they answer questions like these in filler sometimes. And even though it's not canonical, it's something for me to work with and use. So yeah, if anyone else has any ideas, put it in the comments below. Let me know. I'd love to hear about it. But that's it for the Arrancar. And finally, we have the Fullbringer. So right now, they just get small things, either an Explorer's Pack, Scholar's Pack, and one gaming set or one musical instrument. Still pretty bare. Purposefully leaving it bare just to give the essentials, really what this class would need, since most of this whole campaign and this whole setting revolves around the armaments. So not too sure what really to give these things. And like I said, because this specific class, it's implied that you're gonna be starting in the human world, which is just modern era tech. So I would have to put in that tech in the book, which is kind of difficult. So you guys can let me know that too. If I could just put in starting equipment is like a cell phone or a computer, and then I just don't talk about what that is or what it does in the book, because I just don't feel like I want to dedicate space to that, because then I'm not dedicating space more to other stuff that I would rather put in, like armament abilities, feats, and all that kind of stuff. But let me know what you guys think about that. If you think it's worth putting in modern era tech and items in the book, or if it's kind of already out there and people are assume what that means and what it's going to do and how it would function within D&D. I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts on that. But that's it for all the starting equipments for all the classes for now. And yeah, alrighty, next up is the new feat focus armaments, which we got right here if you guys want to give it a pause and read real quick. So prerequisite, first level, you cannot gain additional armament types. If you're able to choose armament abilities from multiple types, you can only choose from one type. Additionally, whenever an armament or class feature would grant you an armament ability, you can forego it for 2 augments instead. So this is for those who really want to specialize in one type of armament type. Like if you really want to be just strict fire type, you strict, lightning type, strict water type, strict projectile type, whatever you want. This allows you to get more augments to really dig deep into a single armament type. As opposed to like dual type, where if you want to spread out a little bit more. So this really helps you focus in on that type. So I think it's pretty good. It has been requested too quite some time ago in the Discord about people wanting to maybe focus on one type if they would get any benefits for that. So that's what I got there. So let me know what you guys think about it. I think it's pretty good. And yeah, I'd love to see what you guys want to see, what kind of builds you guys do when with someone focusing on one type, how strong it could get, how powerful it is. I'd really love to hear about that. But that's it for the new feed. Alrighty, so for the final change and update to the book is a change to the special movement type within the book. So previously, it was a little confusing, and I was hesitant to make it how it currently is because of how potentially powerful and broken it could be. However, I've been told that the system before was a little too confusing, and people kind of already ignored it because it was kind of weird and confusing, and you're already doing kind of broken stuff, so it didn't really matter. So I agree, and I changed it to how it should have done from the beginning and how I wanted to and should have done it from the beginning. So let's give it a read. And this is going to really apply to all the other ones. So to use Shumpo, you expend a number of Shumpo feet in increments of 5 feet to teleport that same amount to an unoccupied space you can see. This movement is still affected by difficult terrain. You regain expended Shumpo on a short rest, and it increases, that's the same. So what's the real difference? The real difference is that it works as other special movements such as climb speed, swim speed, fly speed, burrowing. It all works the same. For those who don't know, whenever you are using speed, whenever you're using a new type of speed, you have to minus how much speed you've previously used. So say you have a fly speed of, 40 feet and a walk speed of 30 feet, and you walk 15 and you try to fly. When you use fly speed, you minus 15 of that walk speed, and that's how much fly speed you have left. That's like a built-in kind of balance system within 5e. So Shumpo is going to work the same thing. If you have Shumpo of 40 feet and you have movement speed of 30 and you move 20 feet, well, when you go to Shumpo, minus 20, that's how much Shumpo you have left to do. So it'll work with that. And other things too that increase special movement or does anything, it all applies to it. Now, I know you guys, for sure, I might get a comments already for this, but I know you'll notice it says this movement is still affected by difficult terrain. That's really to keep in line with the flavor of Flash Step, since, it's just a high speed movement. It's not truly a teleport. And it's really weird to try to say that in, D&D. So that's why it says teleport, but it can still be affected by difficult terrain because you are still moving. So that's why that's still there. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. If this is better, if the old one was better. I doubt anyone's gonna say the old way was better because everyone was kind of doing it this way already. But let me know what you guys think, and if it's about time that I did it. And that's it for all the updates for this month. Now, I do want to ask you guys all a question. I'm thinking of switching the update schedule to be bi-monthly, so every other month. Let me know if you guys think that's too long or the monthly updates is just right, because I know when campaigns start, you're in it for quite a while, and if I'm making updates too fast, it feels like you're not going to be able to get to them or play to them. So I just need to know, is it better for me to stick to the monthly schedule or to go bi-monthly, since people are in the middle of campaigns and it's not like you're going to be able to really test out the updates for who knows how long until your campaign is over, unless you're like me and I just do changes on the fly in the middle campaigns and just let characters rework and change stuff and do all that stuff just for test. Well, mainly because we do testing purposes, so we do all that stuff on the fly, and it gets a little awkward when it comes to story wise, but it doesn't really, we don't really care. We've been doing it for a while. But for other people, I want to know if it's too disruptive. So I don't want to be doing monthly updates and no one can really get to them, even though they really want to. If I should switch to bi-monthly or maybe even longer, because if I do, the longer I have between updates, the more time I have to work on things. Now, by this video comes out, I didn't even get to finish most of the videos that I wanted to do, which is showcasing the armament abilities, just because it's just me, as I stated previously, doing all these things at the same time. I gotta record these, I gotta write this stuff, I gotta do the updates, I gotta edit the videos, and it's a lot. Thankfully, also for those that care and have been keeping up with all the update videos, I did get a new job, so I'm back to a 8 to 5 schedule. and it really helps out. Opens up evenings, opens up weekends to work on stuff. So hopefully things come out a little bit faster and I can get to more things, more projects finished. So we'll see how that goes. But I am still working on those Armament showcase videos. For those who are, Patreons in the Discord, there's a specific channel for you guys, and I've posted, some thumbnails to help choose between some thumbnails. So I have that there. I'm also going to be posting the roadmap on the Patreon that the patrons are going to have access to, and it's really going to be able to see I'm going to post my to-do list, and you guys can vote on which ones I should work on first. So, it's going to be all of them on there, no particular order, and everyone's going to vote. And then from highest to lowest is how I'm going to rearrange my roadmap and what I'm going to be working on next. So you'll see that for all the patrons. You'll get access to that. But the next thing I am working on for sure, before, I'll still post a poll, but just so you guys know for sure what I'm working on, as promised, I am going to be bringing BOUNTS back. So I hope I hear some hurrahs in the comments below for those who want to be BOUNTS and play as those. They are coming back. It's going to be a race and a class, and the new Armament dolls are going to be added. So the first I think I should have it done by next, maybe Wednesday, Thursday, I should have it done. It's going to go up on the Patreon first for the patrons to take a look at it, give me some feedback, what they think I should change, anything they guys they get first look at it, and any kind of changes they want to see to the class before I put it into the book or put it up on Discord to then have the wider public look at it, give their thoughts, and then I'll add it to the book. So that's going to be what I'm working on next. I'm getting all that stuff taken care of and getting the PDF ready for that. So that's for sure the next update. Other than that, we're back on schedule, so hopefully you guys can all let me know in the comments below. I might put a poll also on the Discord, so that will be linked below if you guys want to go join the Discord as well, about the poll of should I stick to the monthly schedule or switch to a longer period. But that's it for today. Thank you guys so much for being part of this journey, enjoying this book, having a good time, being big Bleach fans, and I can't wait for Core 3 to come out, and I can't wait to hear what you guys think about the new changes, and of course also the BOUNTS class once that gets dropped. Thank you guys all so much. You guys have a good night.